Functions of muscle. Movement of the skeleton, production of heat is significant. The role of production of heat is significant. And support of the bony framework. Think about your joints and putting our skeletal structures into action. Functions of muscles. Movement of the skeleton, production of heat is significant. Support of bony framework. Types of muscle tissues: skeletal muscle, cardiac muscle, and smooth muscle. Types of muscle tissues: skeletal muscle, cardiac muscle, and smooth muscle. Properties of muscle tissue: irritability. Number 2, contractility. Number 3, extensibility. Number 4, elasticity. Properties of all muscle tissue: number 1, irritability. Number 2, contractility. Number 3, extensibility. Number 4, elasticity. Basic structures of skeletal muscle. What attaches them to the bone? Origins is a proximal attachment versus insertions, which is the distal attachment. Aponeurosis. Tendon is between two muscles. The aponeurosis tendon is found between the galea aponeurotica and the rectus sheath. Retinaculum is found in the wrist. What are basic structures of the skeletal system? What attaches them to the bone? Origins is a proximal attachment versus insertions, which is a distal attachment. Aponeurosis is a tendon between two muscles. Those muscles are galea aponeurotica and the rectus sheath. Retinaculum is found in the wrist. Origins or proximal attachment is less movable part. Insertions is a distal attachment, which is the more movable part. Origins equals less movable, insertion equals more movable. Knowing muscles: origin, insertion, action, innervation. Knowing muscles: origin, insertion, action, innervation. Flexor, retinaculum, makes the fist, flexes the fingers. Flexor, retinaculum, makes a fist, it flexes the fingers. That's flexor, retinaculum. Naming muscles: logically derived criteria may help. Shape, location, attachment, size, orientation of fibers, relative position, and function. Naming muscles: logically derived criteria may help. Shape, location, attachment, size, orientation of fibers, relative position, and function. Blood supply and innervation of muscles: extensive vasculature, high metabolic rate. Nerve supply, neuromuscular junction. Action depends on number of neurons per fiber. 1/100th equals gross movement versus 1/10 equals fine movement. Blood supply and innervation of muscles: extensive vasculature, high metabolic rate. Nerve supply, neuromuscular junction. action depends on number of neurons per fiber. 1/100th equals gross movement versus 1/10 equals fine movement. What? Understanding composition. What is muscle? Bundles of fibers or cells. What binds the fibers together? Connective tissue. Understanding composition. What is muscle? Bundles of fiber or cells. What binds the fibers together? Connective tissue binds the fibers together. From cell to tissue. Each cell fiber is surrounded by a membrane, sarcolemma. This is a muscle cell. They are grouped into bundles by endomysium. These bundles, fasciculi, are surrounded by perimysium. The fasciculi are grouped together by epimysium, continuous with the tendon of the muscle fascia. From cell to tissue, each fiber cell is surrounded by a membrane called the sarcolemma with two M's. They are grouped into bundles by endomysium. That's endomysium. Those bundles, fasciculi, are surrounded by perimysium. Perimysium surrounds the bundles. The fasciculi are grouped together by epimysium. The fasciculi are grouped together by epimysium. A closer look at the fibers. Inside the fiber cell are myofibrils. One myofibril has many myofibrillaments. Myofibrillaments equals action in myosin. Actin in myosin, not action. ACTIN in myosin. Arranged in sequence equals sarcomeres. SCARCOMERES, sarcomeres are surrounded by sarcoplasmic reticulum. Contraction is regulated by contents of the sarcoplasmic reticulum. A closer look at the fibers inside the fiber cell are myofibrils. One myofibril has many myofibrillaments. Myofilaments equals actin and myosin. Arranged in sequence equals sarcomeres. Sarcomeres are surrounded by sarcoplasmic reticulum. Contraction is regulated by the contents of the sarcoplasmic reticulum.